Hello you guys and welcome to my channel. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Kenzie and I am a Canadian flight attendant, and today I'm going to be answering all of your questions, the long-awaited Q&A about being a flight attendant. So I got the questions on my old phone here and let's just get into this video. First question is, where is the furthest you've gone? So flight wise, I would say Yellowknife, because that's about, could be anywhere from like 2.5 to 3 hours and as short as like an hour and a half. But like, I always think like furthest wise would be like the States, because like we are within Canada. However, we go to Seattle and Portland, which is in a different country. So to me, my mind always thinks that's the furthest. But also, when we did fly out east, the longest was Toronto to Moncton. That's longer than Calgary to Yellowknife. So either Yellowknife or Moncton. What's your favorite thing about it? Traveling to different locations. The people, the company I work for is a smaller company of a larger company. And at the smaller company, we're all like a family. 9 times out of 10, you get along with your crew very well. I would say number one thing, my favorite thing would be, is the traveling. I just love to travel. So we'll just leave it there because I could go on and on and on about that one. What's your least favorite thing about it? The people. the public. Anytime you work in the public, you're gonna get some weirdos. And IROPS I don't like. The pay I don't like, because we're paid very weirdly. Like, our pay scale is very weird. There's a couple things I don't like. However, yeah, we'll leave it there. How often do you work with the same coworkers? Not often at all. I have worked with my friends. The person I worked with the most was 3 times in a year and a half. And that was a fluke. It was random. We were both on call all 3 times. So it's like, you very rarely work with the same people. You do, however, see them around a lot because we always tail swap. We see them in the airports, the hotels, whatever it may be. But actually working with the same person again is very unlikely. How long does it take until you can fly international? They say roughly 2 years. The company I work for just merged with another company, and then they also just bought another company. So there's a lot going on in the greater scheme of things, and we don't know how that affects the smaller side of the company, because right now I work for the small planes. To go up to the big planes is international. So the international side of the airline I work for just bought another company and just merged with another company. So there's a lot going on over there. We don't know how that affects us at the smaller planes right now. It's a waiting game. I qualify technically in April of 2024. So anytime after April 2024, as far as I know, I qualify from then. Favorite thing about the job, I already answered this. It would have to be just the traveling around, but also like how family oriented it seems at the company for the most part, because obviously you always get the odd crew that you don't drive with. But biggest pet peeve in the airport and cabin. So the cabin, they're referencing the airplane, because we work in the cabin part of the airplane. My biggest pet peeve would be people taking their shoes off and wearing bare feet. I don't care if you take your shoes off and your socks are there, but bare feet on a plane, no. Unless it's sandals. Just weird stuff, like putting your bare foot on our seats, walking to the bathroom barefoot. Huge public displays of affection. I got the ick one time because somebody was like rubbing her husband's bald head while like cuddling him, and I'm just like, I got the major ick. Oh no, biggest pet peeve on the airplane: when people don't know how to open the bathroom door. It's a normal door handle or doorknob, and they can't figure it out. People lose all common sense the second they get on to it, into an airport and onto a plane. Any airports, it would be, how do I word this? People stopping the wrong airline for questions about a different airline. So if I don't work for the airline that you're inquiring about, if you have a question about, we'll say Delta, because they're an American company, and this just happened like 2 weeks ago. Somebody came up and asked me a question about Delta, and like, I don't work for Delta. I don't know how to help you. Like, I don't even know where their customer service desk is. If I don't work for your airline, please do not ask me questions about that airline. If you're flying with my airline, by all means, ask me a question. I might not know it, but ask me. If I don't work for the airline you're flying with, please don't ask me a question. The most challenging part of the job: the lack of work-life balance, the lack of, I don't know how to word it, but the lack of pay with the rate of inflation lately. We're getting paid the same. They're not doing anything to help us with the inflation rates. Yeah, I would say those two. The work-life balance is really hard because I have to pay for a place in Calgary. I have to pay like rent, bills, like everything to live here, and it's very expensive. Like all of my bills, I probably have, no, I'm not even gonna get into the money side of it because that could go on and on and on. But my bills take up a good chunk of what I make, and I'm never here. I love flying. I love traveling. However, the work-life balance of it is like, I'm 4 days away, 1 day home, 4 days away, 1 day home. And that has been my schedule for the past 2 months. It is very draining, both physically and mentally. And you just get very, I don't know the word. You get very overwhelmed and tired because there's no work-life balance. Favorite place I've been. My favorite layover ever is Penticton, British Columbia. And we only are there from May to September. So my second favorite would be Vancouver downtown. Vancouver by the airport if it's a long enough stay, but most of the time it's just minimum rest. So Vancouver downtown, we used to stay at the Westin. We don't anymore. I hope we go back. We're that's temporary, but that is the nicest hotel and the best location other than Penticton. I love it. Love, love. Do I want to fly? Do I want to flow? How do I word this that you guys will understand? Do I want to get the promotion to mainline? We call the big planes mainline. Eventually, yes, I do want to. We call it flow. It's like a promotion. You go from the little planes to the big planes. Eventually, yes, I do want to flow. I don't know when that will be. I don't think it'll be right away. There's just a lot. It depends what's going on in my life at the time, because when you do flow to the main line, it is, I don't want to say a death sentence, but because it is better locations, but you're stuck on call for 10 days every single month for the next 15 years. You are at the bottom of the food chain. I don't get any on-call shifts anymore. I get everything I bid for the most part. I'm like not even at the top of the food chain. I'm like in the middle. So like to go from that to the very bottom and getting res for like the next 15 years, res is on-call shifts, but I just, I can't mentally think I'm gonna do that right now, so eventually, but probably not right away. Share a great memorable moment with passengers. Probably a rescue flight I had to take over. It was during the Vancouver snow fiasco, and it was from Kelowna. If you work in the airline industry, 9 times out of 10 you do not like Kelowna, because 9 times out of 10 the passengers are very stuck up and rude. Not all of them, but most of them are. And so it was from Kelowna to Vancouver, and they were delayed for hours and hours, and for some reason the airport CSA would not let them deplane, even though the plane could not leave. I can't remember what the problem was. I don't know why they couldn't leave. It had nothing to do with the weather, something with maintenance maybe, I'm not sure. But they wouldn't let them deplane, and then the crew dutied out, and that's why my crew, it wasn't even, because we weren't one crew back then. It was me and my FA partner, and then 2 pilots that were also stranded in the Kelowna airport. We took over this flight. I will tell that story one day, because that was just day 1 of this fiasco pairing. But we took over that flight, and by the end of that flight, like, I was running around while we were still on the ground, because we still couldn't leave. I was running around that plane serving hot drinks, serving like literally anything to make these people more comfortable. The cabin was 4 degrees with a freezing cold air coming in through the door, and they'd been sitting there for hours on end. It was a terrible situation. It just should not have happened in the first place. I felt terrible for these people. I'm running around this plane serving hot drinks, tea, coffee, whatever. And at the end of that flight, we were deplaning, and people were giving me compliments like, "You're too good for this airline. You did an amazing job." And pilots and crew members from the company were also on this flight, and the one FO who I was friends with, he was helping me serve these drinks. He was like standing in the galley holding the tray while I like loaded them up with hot drinks, and then I took it and served them. Like, he was helping me out. And like, but there's one pilot, he was like, "I wish I could stop and tell you how amazing you did. Like, I wish we could talk more, because that was just an amazing, like, you did amazing." And I'm just like, it's just really nice when people, especially in that circumstance, because they were furious when we first got on. They were yelling at us, they were about to riot, and then by the end of that they're thanking me and like telling me I'm too good for the company and like how I did an amazing job. So it's just, it was nice to see like the drastic change that I made in that experience for them. What do you do when you don't like the person you're working with, an FA or a pilot, for 4 or 5 days? I kind of isolate myself. Just because I don't like them or don't get along with them doesn't mean I can't work with them. As long as it's an okay work environment, they're not making things too difficult. I tend to not have any problems working with people. I can get along with anybody for a short amount of time. Yeah, I mean, as long as it's not a hostile work environment, I just kind of put up with it. And then when we get to the hotel, it's like, wipe your hands clean, walk away. So yeah, that's kind of just isolate yourself after your work. You don't have to hang out with them after. That's one thing. It's all very temporary. Yeah, that's all I can find. So thank you for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy. If you do have any more questions, comment them down below, or make sure you follow my Instagram, because that's where I ask for questions when I do want to post a Q&A. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I post videos every single Wednesday. Make sure you subscribe so you never miss a video, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.